Damn it, it was bound to happen. We knew it. We knew it was coming. It was bound to happen eventually because we had plenty of these on deep cuts. The ones that I mean, not deep cuts, but the Grimm Tales podcast. Okay. We have plenty of the ones that I was genuinely disappointed in. But I don't think I've had any that I was generally disappointed in. The reason I say it is some of the ones that I did reviews that I didn't like, I wasn't surprised that I didn't like them. I went into this film we're talking about tonight with hopes of a good film. I will go into details in that in a minute, but I didn't get it. I didn't get it. And I think you're going to find my scoring for this film tonight interesting. Because I really, really, really wanted this film to be something good. I really did. But I will explain all the reasons why I don't think it was coming in a moment. Before we do that, though, before we get into the scores, before we get into the chats, we have to get the general stuff out of the way. You know what I'm talking about. You see it right there. HuelessVision.com. Go to it, love it, share it, pass it around with your friends. It's very important that you do this. Helps out a lot. Gets the information out there. Gets it to more eyes. And the more eyes, the more easier it is to make content for you guys. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Stay up to date with everything that I do across the board. Also, get down in those comments down below and voice what you think either on anything that I'm talking about tonight or general thoughts. If you have a general thing, something I didn't discuss in this episode and you want to say something, by all means, leave it in the comments. Spoiler free though. This is a spoiler free zone. We don't like to spoil movies. We just like to give our opinions and to give our feelings about the film, and you guys can take it from there. We don't like spoiling films here. On the podcast, we do. And if we ever do get around to a third season of the podcast, we're going to spoil the shit out of films on there. But on Deep Cuts, we do not spoil films. So keep that in mind when you leave those comments down below. Also, get to the website because everything you need to know is there. You'll be able to find the full schedule of everything that I do across the board, whether it is Deep Cuts related, Quest related, gaming related, or any other thing that I do. It's all there on the website. You'll also be able to find the merch store, which we have plenty of shit there. If it's not there, maybe we'll get it there. And hey, if you don't see something, you think something would be a good idea, give us an idea and we might turn it into a merch idea. So keep that in mind. It's there. Also, you'll be able to find every other episode that I've done currently. Okay. You'll be able to find the current episodes of everything that I do and links to where you can find all the other past episodes. Okay, we made it a little simpler on the website because people were having a problem backlogging. The service that we use isn't as great as it used to be with Noble. It is what it is. Maybe we'll find another way to find that to be more navigatable in the future, but for now, every latest episode of everything that I do is on the website, and there is information and links on those individual pages to how to watch all past episodes. They're all available though. Everything you ever want to watch is all categorized. I'm meticulous about categorization, so it's all there. Go to it, love it, pass it around to your friends. HuelessVision.com. Very important. Share it. Okay? I want to hear from you guys. Get in the Discord. It's all there as well. That's the best way to chat with me otherwise than here and on the other way. You'll also be able to find all our socials, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Rumble, and so on. It's all there. Anywhere we want to be, everywhere we can be, it's on the website. Find it once more again, HuelessVision.com. But with that said, it is time to talk about the movie at hand tonight and tell you my frustrations and why I feel the way that I do about this film. What film is that? If you didn't read the title and you just clicked on it because it is Grimm Tales, thank you, by the way. But if you already know, then you already know what's coming. If you don't, the movie we're talking about tonight is Little Bites. That's right. Now, face value. Right from the gate, if you watch the trailer, vampire film. That's the vibe you get. And maybe this is. Maybe this is, for the fucking love of God, maybe it is. I don't know. If it is, it's the weakest. No. 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 Because you know what? You know what? I'm going to put it out there. Even the shitty fucking vampire flick that we did on the podcast, White Snow, I believe, or Red Snow, I said White Snow. Red Snow was bad, but at least it was a vampire flick. This movie had so much promise, but it suffered from identity. It suffered from an identity crisis. This movie wanted to be an intellectual masterpiece, but yet it was shrouded with the idea of a simple vampire, or at the very least, a monster flick, right? It wasn't there. It had the potential to be one. It had the potential to be a decent one. The concepts were there, the ideas were there, but then they wanted to get really political and really deep. They wanted to be like Inception. And I'm sorry, you can't. Inception barely was Inception. You know how many people didn't like Inception? You know how many people didn't get Inception? I understood Inception, but I'm pointing out the simple fact that you know how many people didn't? A lot of people didn't. This is not the idea that you should have went with this film. This is not the direction. You should have taken the key points that you had from this film, which it did have some interesting, like, you know, the idea of sacrifice and all that other shit. That, again, it wouldn't have been the most original thing, but it would have made for a fair, or at very best decent, vampire or monster flick. Instead, they wanted to go beyond and try to make the most intellectually challenging fucking film that they could think of, and failed miserably at it. Don't get me wrong, I love a movie with depth. I love a movie that makes you think. Again, Inception was a decent movie for what it was. Basically kind of an action sci-fi film. But it was a good film, even though it was a very deep thought-based one. Okay? I'm okay with that if it's done in a way that is clever and it makes somewhat sense at what it's trying to be. This was wrapped up in all these little plays that they were doing, and it wanted to give you subliminal messages and thought process, things deep to think about. And then it overshadows the fact that we have this creature, which I'm not going to pronounce his name because I can't fully remember it off the back of my fucking head. He was an afterthought. Because I won't go into it because I don't want to spoil it for you. But the very concept is the things that they were trying to tell you, the things that they were trying to portray in this fucking film, basically made this guy right here useless. They did. And that makes me so mad because I actually went into this thinking, seeing the trailer, and I will tell you where I actually came across this film. Social media is notorious, and I know everybody knows this. This is not news to anybody, but social media is notorious for people posting movie clips on shorts, right? And you see them all the time. And again, some movies I've found because of that, right? Again, I'm not saying that's a good thing. You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be sharing movies on the internet, okay? But I'm just saying people do it. They share little clips of movies, and as a result, things look interesting. Some of the clips I've seen when they shared these on their Facebook Reels and the Instagram and so forth, and even TikTok, I was like, this movie looks interesting. I wonder if it is. Maybe I should check it out. And when I looked up the trailer, I was like, okay. I was invested. I was like, you know what? It might not be the greatest movie, but at the very least, we're going to get a fun, maybe deep in a sort of kind of way, monster vampire flick that's also maybe gory. Right? Because why the fuck would you do a monster flick or even a vampire flick and not be gory? We're going to get into that in the fucking scoring here, okay? But why would you do that if you had no intentions of doing it? Why? Why have a fucking vampire? Or if this isn't a vampire, because I don't even fucking know. Little Nosferatu looking son of a bitch, all right? If this isn't a vampire, fine. It is still a monster. Why do a monster flick at the very least and it not be fucking gory? Weak story. Drowned me in... God, we're talking pacing was horrendous. I don't like. There was times when shit just dropped. Again, I'm not too picky about pacing. Pacing must be good, but I won't be too harsh on it. I'll give it a lowish score, but I won't be too harsh on it if it still at least does somewhat of a good job. This film did not do that at all. It did not have it at all. This movie was ass when it came to pacing. They didn't do a good job. Like this thing, whatever he is, you don't know shit about him, even after the end. And if you do, if you watch this, I'm not giving anything away, but if you watch this fucking film and you think you have an idea of what the fuck is going on with this thing, then let me know. Leave that shit down in the comments. That's the type of shit you need to leave down there, okay? I get all the metaphors. I do. I understand all the metaphors that this movie tried to talk about. The idea of abuse and addiction and escape from those things and so forth and so on. I get it. I get it. This is not the movie that you should have made. If you wanted to make a movie about that, you should have done that. And that would have been an okay thing. Use metaphors. I hate when people use metaphors for monster flicks and then sit there and say, oh, but you can interpret it however you want. Fuck you. Stop that shit. If you want to make a goddamn monster flick, make a goddamn monster flick. If you want to make a deep film, make a deep film and follow through with it. Don't meet in the middle. Do not fucking do that shit. That annoys the shit out of me. Do not make a half flip-floppy fucking movie. That's what this film was. It was very flip-floppy. It wanted to be a deep intellectual fucking thing, but then on the other side, it was a monster flick. Make one or the other. Or, if you were that clever, make a monster flick that can be deep. This was not it. I'm not saying that you can't make a monster flick that has deep roots. No, I'm not saying you can't do that. What I'm saying, you have to have some fucking balls to do it, though. You have to be really, really good to do it and pull it off. This was not it. This was not that fucking movie. This did a piss poor job at that. This movie felt like I wasted my fucking time. And now you can see it right here. And I will talk about this in the notes that I have, that I always do for you guys. But you see it right there. This is a Shudder original. Now again, I have watched my share of Shudder originals. Some of them are really bad. Some of them are okay. I have yet to see a great one yet. I have yet to see a great one. I have a couple hopes on some things. I've seen some trailers for some movies we're going to do here on Deep Cuts. They're in the list of things that I have yet to do. If I haven't already done them, if I've applauded one, if this is something you haven't seen yet, whatever, I don't know. If you want to go back, maybe I have talked about, but as of right now, for as far as I know, I haven't really applauded one yet. This here, this piece of shit is not one of them. It's not. It's not. It infuriated me. There was plenty. If I find myself pausing the film to look to see how much is left of the film, you've already lost me. If I have to fucking guess, if I have to actually be like, oh man, I should see how much time it is because I'm getting disinterested, you've lost me. I should not care how much. That's how you know if the pacing is good. That's how you got to know. That's how you know if a movie is drowning you. Because if you don't think about the time, if you go, oh man, I'm just watching this movie, and then you check how long it was afterwards, that was a good fucking film, right? Because not once did you think of the length of the film. This whole fucking film, from start to finish, from the very first few minutes of this movie, you're like, oh, God, it's dragging. And I love dialogue. I love deep stories. I do. I don't need to. I love mindless movies that are just what they are, and I love deep movies. This was just not a good fucking movie. It wanted to be a good movie, but it wasn't. And it had all the potential to be. It had all there. Like, some of the acting was okay, but man, God, the scripts were so horrible. Nonsensical at best. I will go into that and score. But Jesus, fuck, like the character had potential to be, I wouldn't say a groundbreaking character, but at the very least, a fun character in a monster or maybe vampire flick. It wasn't there though. They dropped the ball hard in this film. Hard. And that makes me mad because this is time that, again, I won't get back. And I knew it was going to come eventually, where we were going to hit a wall with a movie that I really disliked. It's been a while. It has been a while since I've come across them. Again, there are movies that I don't like, yes. But it is very rare that I have this type of passion for a movie disliking it, okay? This movie, I disliked it a lot. I don't like it. It is a horrible movie. I will not suggest this movie. If you have Shudder and you want to waste your fucking time, sure, go for it. But all in all, you can pass this one by, and it won't phase you. It's not going shit. This, I don't even know if this should be in the fucking the cheap bin, if you would call it. It shouldn't. It just doesn't need to exist. So now let's give you some notes before we go into the scores, because it is getting close to that time. We have general notes like we do. I'm going to give that information to you right now. This movie came out October 4th, 2024. So last year around the Halloween, this spooky season, okay? Not a good spooky season movie in any fucking way. Shame on you for releasing this fucking movie around spooky season. It deserved better, okay? The category, and I had to look this fucking film up because this movie suffered from so much identity crisis that it was so hard for me to pin down what this movie was trying to be. So I had to do some research, and the best I could come up with was psychological horror. Again, I went in this movie expecting it to be one thing, and it was not. It was completely something else. It was a dookie ass movie, all right? So psychological horror is, I guess, the best category you can come up with this thing. The R rating, maybe there's some language, maybe, but I really don't understand. The people said that this was a well-earned R rating for its imagery, and I'm just like, I've seen much worse. Maybe it's a soft R, maybe it's an early R, maybe it's it just did just enough to earn that R rating. Maybe very barely borderline. Maybe. Rental, I think it's too fucking high. $5.99. I wouldn't pay $1.99 to rent this fucking movie. Don't waste your fucking money. You are better off getting, and I will get this in a second. You know what? I'll nail it right off the bat. It is on Shudder. If you have a Shudder subscription, it is on there. It is better to get a Shudder subscription, which is $9.99, I believe, okay, to have a month of Shudder. Even though that is more than the $5.99. The reason why I say that is because if you drop the $9.99 for the month, you're probably going to find something on Shudder that you enjoy. Versus paying $5.99 for this dog shit piece of fucking goddamn goddamn, and wasting your whole fucking day. Because it made me so angry. I stayed up to watch this shit. I watched this late at night, and I was mad that I lost sleep over this fucking pile of shit. You can tell I'm fucking mad about it, alright, if it hasn't been apparent. Buying this movie apparently is on sale right now. It normally goes for $15. $15 fucking dollars. What the fuck? But it is on sale right now for $9.99. Which absolutely is 100% atrocious, is not worth it. I don't think it is. If you purchase this film or rent this film, do it at your own goddamn risk. I do not suggest this film at all. Again, it is streaming on AMC Plus and Shudder. So if you have either, watch it there if you must. But you will be losing some fucking time. I'm telling you, if you don't mind about missing time and you're curious, go for it. I will not deter you from watching it. But just be warned, it is not a good fucking movie. I don't think it is. Budget, could not find one. From what I understand, this movie was not very, very good when it came down to the budget. Okay. Now though, I want to go over this. This had a let me see. It had a, I want to make sure I have the box office. It grossed around, okay, it only grossed $9,299 in box office sales. That probably is the worst box office score that I've ever fucking seen that I can think of. I know movies that are far worse than this that did better than this film, but you know what? I'm not mad hopefully they don't ever try to make another one of these fucking films, or they learn from this film. If this was your opening act, if this is what you started your movie career with, rethink it. This is not it, okay? So yeah, that is the budget information and box office. The runtime, again, like I said, this should have been a short film. This should have been a short film, 100%. 30 minutes max, and they could have had this movie out. But this movie went on for an hour and 37 fucking minutes. 1 hour and 7 minutes longer than it absolutely needed to be. Okay, so I want you to keep all that in mind. This is a waste of fucking time. You will feel burn out by the time this fucking movie's over. So keep that in mind going into it. If you must watch this film, keep that in mind. But with that said, it is time for scores. Let's get into it, because I think you guys are ready to see what the fuck I thought of this pile of doo-doo. If you're new to the stream, or show, I say stream, my bad. If you're new to the show, and you don't know how the scoring works, I will go over it very briefly, because we've been doing this so long by now, I don't want to give the long spiel. But the short end of it is, we have 5 categories that never change every week. Those categories are story, acting, pacing, gore score, and production. I score those 1 through 5, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5 if necessary. You get the point. If it's below a 1, we give it the pile. If it's above a 5, we give it the seal of approval. After I score these 5 categories, I move on to the overall score, which works similar in the way that the other scores work, except this one goes from 1 to 10, 1.5, 2.5 if necessary. Pile and seal are in effect. With that said, let's get into the scoring of Little Bites. What did I give? Story, you say? Well, I gave it a pile. That's right. One big old stinky fucking steaming pile. That's right. This story was atrocious. I don't even understand what the fuck it is. I understand the metaphors that they were telling. So before you say, oh God, this was just too intellectual for you. No, I love intellectual shit. This was not intellectual. This tried to be intellectual and it failed miserably. This was a horrible story. It wanted to be something, it had way too much trying. It was trying to be way too much, and it suffered from a personality complex. They turned a concept of what this film could have been, and they overcomplicated it, and it landed up self-destructing itself. That's what this film did. So let's move on to the next one. Acting. What did I give the acting? I gave it a 2. The actors, maybe they tried, maybe they did. I don't know anybody, but I don't know anybody but the main actress. Oh, not the main actress, the one actress in this film, okay? She is and I don't know much about her, to be honest with you, but she is the nun, the character, the lady who played, the actress who played the nun in, I forget the name of that character, but in The Nun, she's the evil character in that. She's in this, but she's under, there's a couple other people that are in this film. Any of the head hitters that are horror icons in this film, underutilized. They would have been better focuses than what we've got in this film, okay? Things said, the lines delivered, nonsensical. Human beings don't talk like this. The actions that were in this, the things that they did in this, it's like, dare I say, AI could have wrote a better script than this fucking pile of shit. The story, the acting was just, it was not good. And I don't know if I want to chalk that up as just bad acting or if it was just bad script or both. I don't know, but it wasn't good. Wasn't the worst thing I've seen when it comes to rating things, but it was a 2 at best. Let's move on from that. What do we have? We have the pacing. What did I give pacing? Well, no surprise here. I gave it a pile. The pacing was so fucking bad. 5-10 minutes into this film, I already thought that the movie was too long. They spent way too long on certain scenes. They had no character development. They jumped right into shit, but didn't explain nothing. The main villain of the film, you didn't know nothing about, still know nothing about. Underdeveloped. It's all around bad. You didn't care about nothing. You didn't care about the villain. You didn't care about the fucking, the protagonist, antagonist. You didn't care about none of them. They were all bad. Everything was bad in this film. It was just horrible. So yeah, pacing, it gets a well-deserved pile. Let's move over to the gore score. What did I give the gore score of this fucking film? I gave it a pile. That's right, a pile. This movie in the trailer depicts something that you would look at and you go, Some people actually said, oh my God, the imagery and gore in this film is so much. If you thought the imagery and gore in this film was too much for you, you need to stop watching horror. Because if you want horror to be lighter than this movie was, I don't want that horror. I will stop watching horror if that's the horror that people want to watch. This is shit. Especially again, not every horror movie needs gore, but monster flicks do. Monster flicks are like slashers in the sense that they both need gore. You're not going to make a slasher film and not have gore. You're not going to make a vampire or monster flick and not have fucking gore. That just makes no goddamn sense. And here we are, sitting about talking about it. Gore score, pile. Well deserved. Production, final of the 5. What did I give it? I gave it a 2. Production wasn't really there. What can I say? It wasn't the worst production. Sound was okay. Camera work was okay. But there was nothing phenomenal about it. It was very claustrophobic. It was very in one area at one time. You only really seen 2 people throughout the entire film, mostly. There was some parts where you seen a few other people, but mostly it was only 2 people. Very claustrophobic. There wasn't much going in the production side. Again, the main villain in this film, the monster in this film, was probably the highest of the production, if you would say. And that wasn't saying much. It wasn't really, he looked okay. Could have been an interesting character, but they barely showed him. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but they barely showed him. If you expected him to be something more, the trailer made it look like this. Probably shows up more in the goddamn trailer. Okay? Now, with that said, that is our 5. Let's get to the overall so we can get this over. What did I give the overall score of Little Bites, the Shudder original? Well, I gave it, by no surprise to any of you, should be, I gave it a good old pile. That's right. I think I could be wrong. I could be wrong on this. Do not hold me to this. But I think this is the first pile for deep cuts. I don't think I've given a pile yet for any deep cuts movie review that I've done. I've given low scores, yes. But I don't think anything has earned a pile up until this point. This one gets it. If I'm wrong on that, and I did do a pile, if I did do a review and I gave it a pile, my apologies. I'm only talking main pile. I'm not talking subcategory pile. Talking main category overall score pile. I don't think I've given one. Again, at the end of the year, I will probably do a recap so we can do a top list. But as of right now, I think this is the first time I've given a pile. I knew it was coming eventually, hence the reason why we have a pile. So what is going to get a seal? Dare I ask, is it going to be a Terrifier film? Maybe, possibly. But as of right now, nothing gets that. But something did earn a good old pile. So, with that said, that is the discussion points of this film. A pile for Little Bites. Don't recommend it. Don't need to see it. But that is it. That is our review on Little Bites. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you disagree with what I had to say tonight, make sure to get down in those comments and voice what you think. Tell me I'm an asshole for shitting all over a movie you enjoyed. But I'm not going to back down. I'm going to tell you again all the reasons why I think this movie was shit. But you can get down in those comments and tell me why you disagree. Or you can tell me why you agree. Either way, get down in those comments. Let me know what you thought. On any platform, whether you're watching this on Rumble, whether you're watching this on YouTube, whether you're watching this on the website, whether you're watching it on another one that I'm not aware of at this particular point in time, leave those comments down below and I will do my very best to get back to it. Make sure to get to the website right there, hulisvision.com. Find everything you need to go there. Everything you need is there, from the schedule to find out everything I'm doing, whether it's gaming, reviews, so forth and so on. It's all there. You'll also be able to watch the latest episodes of everything that I do, whether it's Quest, whether it's Grimm Tales, whether it's game nights, whether it's drop shows, so forth and so on. All the latest episodes are there, and there are links to where you can watch past episodes as well. So keep that in mind. You'll also be able to find our merch store, which goes a long distance if you want to help us, guys. If you want to help us out, guys, it's serious. It helps a lot. All right. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe, hit that notification bell, stay up to date with everything that I do across the board. Okay. Everything is there. If you like, follow, subscribe, you'll never miss out on anything. Plus, again, it helps out with the algorithm. It helps us beat these algorithms so more people can see it. And the more people that are aware of what we do here, the easier it is for me to push out content for you guys. But with that said, I'm going to get the hell out of here. As always, I enjoy it. I hope you guys have a great weekend. If you're watching this on another day other than release, still have a great day and enjoy the rest of your day. And I will see you on the next one. Until then, peace out, peeps.